morning. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
What a great morning this has been. Listening to Bill White this morning, thank you for such a powerful message. A lot of times that gets us grounded, gets us focused, so definitely appreciative. Then I was listening to Karen, and I got so excited, I thought, I'm moving from Pennsylvania to New York. She was so fired up, I thought, wow, this is great. But we're doing some really good things in Pennsylvania, so I think I'll stay here for a little while. So as we continue to look at the elements of a recovery-oriented system of care, let's shift our focus a little bit to special populations and their role in creating such a system. Guiding principles have emerged through the work that's been done on a national level that's really provided us with a framework for which to work. But there's also a few critical aspects of recovery that I'm hoping that we can keep in the forefront as we move through this presentation. First, recovery is a very individualized and self-directed process, and we really need to keep that in mind. One that is culturally dimensional, empowering, and holistic. Can be very inspiring too as you go through the process. Hope, gratitude, and support from friends, peers, families should be viewed as a motivational aspect of the recovery process. And most importantly, we have to remember that recovery is a process of healing and growth. It takes time and it takes commitment. So in order for us to create a recovery-oriented system of care that is truly effective and responsive to the needs of those we serve, it should be person-centered, strength-based, comprehensive, culturally responsive, and it should be inclusive of all voices. And that's a very critical component. We also have to acknowledge some of the challenges that individuals face as they go through the recovery process of those seeking recovery. Stigma and discrimination, it's still alive and well in our society today. It's widespread, not only within the community with people that are affected by addiction, but within the field in general as it pertains to medication-assisted recovery or our personal perspective on recovery. Making the transition from treatment into the community is a critical process. And a lot of times we lose folks there. And so we need to remember that the system, families and peers can play a very important part in helping folks make that transition. Limited funding, limited funding, limited funding. I have heard that for quite some time. We struggle with having the funding to support a full continuum of care, including access to treatment and recovery support services. And also that there's a lack of knowledge for frontline folks about recovery support services, services in the community-based services in the community. We really need to educate some folks on the front lines regarding providing support when it comes to housing, transportation, education, etc. Now let's look at how these challenges are intensified by race, by culture, by gender, by socioeconomic status, and by the pathways used to sustain recovery. The challenges are many. The challenges are many, and require a system that supports these special populations in overcoming these barriers. So one of the most important ways that we can do this is to seek information and direction from people that actually represent those populations, that are living either in recovery or working in the field, and that know what it's like to have needs that aren't being met through the present system. And at this time, I'd like to really turn our attention to our panelists. We have an excellent group this morning. Ms. May Lai, Director of Program Development and Quality Assurance of Behavioral Health Services of Hamilton Madison House in New York. That was a mouthful. Harlan Pruden, co-founder and council member of the Northeast Two-Spirit Society. We have Lisa Torres, a New Jersey consumer advocate, and Dr. Calvin Trent, Detroit Health Department, Bureau of Substance Abuse. At this time, we're going to turn the mic over to Ms. Lai so she can share some of her information with us.